up, world? This is Weekly Wallet Wagers. We are back this week after 2 episodes this past week. If y'all are rejoining us, we appreciate you guys following up on our Nancy Pelosi update, thanks to Griffin, that we released this week, as well as our tidbit on Elon Musk and Jordan Belfort and what those crazy guys are doing in the world. One thing, actually, we haven't even done introductions yet. I was about to start talking about that, John, and I realized, hey, we have the banker here, all the way from Denver, Colorado, and I see you're repping your Carolina Rabbit Company today. John, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, and yeah, we're repping the T-shirt, some of the merch, Carolina Rabbit
Some of the merch. I like it. Well, thank you for being here. And guys, we've got Griffin Goodman from Accomplished Incorporated back with us over on the other side of the screen. What's up, Griffin?
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So real quick, guys, one thing I wanted to talk, I know we just mentioned kind of what we talked about this past week on the show. We got ahead of ourselves a little bit in one category. Jordan Belfort, I know that I said that he resides in Australia, right? And I don't think that is actually right.
Yeah, I'm not really finding anything on him living in Australia. I only see really the Bronx, and then as of right now, California. Like Los Angeles is where he's at, I believe. I mean, I see that there was a scandal in Australia regarding a training company for employees that was supposed to go for the it was supposed to be for the government, but I mean, I don't see anything other than that. So,
well, if he's keeping his nose clean and if he's staying out of trouble, then maybe that's good. Is he paying any restitution out to his victims, or is he just chilling out in LA being himself?
Yeah, well, according to Wikipedia, the man pays out $10,000 a month right now, so which is $120,000 a year, which is a lot.
How much he's earned? He's paying that out in fines and fees. That's probably nothing for him.
Yeah, but he, I mean, it was like 2013. He paid out $10 million of the like 110 he was supposed to pay out.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a whole mess.
Quick, because again, we may have some new viewers on this first episode. Jordan Belfort, John, who is he and what made him famous?
Oh, he was the Wolf on Wall Street. He was a stockbroker back
in
the
Wolf Wall Street,
and he would basically make money off of people through pump and dumps. He'd call a bunch of people, or he'd have his firm call a bunch of people, put all their money into the stock, raise the value, and then pull out.
He was one of the few that got caught. There's still plenty of big hedge fund managers and money people that do that every day.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah. It's crazy how long, I mean, they got away with it for, like, this was years.
Yeah.
You know, like, they were doing this for years. And they, you know, with how much, I want to say in the movie they had such a lack of paperwork and documentation. And then, you know.
Back in the day, too, when you were doing things back in the 80s, back when the market was just a whole lot more wild in the wild, wild west, and there was less technology and electronic, you know, for record keeping and all that. And so I'm sure it was a very different world than like where we play in now, Griffin, with stocks.
Oh, so, yeah, for sure. I know just recently, even over-the-counter stocks just got a bunch of regulation because, you know, they were just pumping these random stocks and, you know, not knowing the consequences of what it would do for them. So I know about November they put in some new regulation. Okay,
and what was that regulation? And is that something that affects us, or is this just you know, the big managers that actually have the ability to short out stocks based on their positions in the market?
It was just to make sure that these certain stocks were supposed to be on this over-the-counter, and to make sure that they were following the same regulations that most, you know, I guess stocks on the regular exchanges are supposed to follow.
Sure. Well, usually those rules and laws are made as a reactive solution, not a proactive solution, meaning it happens first before things happen. So, well, very good. Thank you, guys. Well, now that we've covered our basis from where we misspoke last week, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and glad you're here on screen with us, Griffin. It was one of these financial websites, and they were talking about cryptocurrency and how it, you know, I know that we talked a little last week about how it's had a bad December. We did not finish in the year well, or nearly as well as we had been in the last 2 quarters of the year. Now, a lot of experts still predict that cryptocurrency can rise, but of course, everything that I've read, you know, experts always say that they are basing, you know, their assessment off of their knowledge and off of the fundamentals of how things work in the world and how our market's supposed to work. Now, we've also listened to experts the last 10 years tell us what the market's going to do, and the market hasn't gone down into a recession like they said, and that, cryptocurrency has gone way up, regardless of experts saying that it's not tied to anything, and, there's no logic to it and all this. And so, at some point, I almost laugh when, experts validate their credentials and say that the market is supposed to do something based off of some logic or reason that's always been that way. And because they're constantly being proven wrong with that. However, this article that I read, Griffin, said that because of these volatilities that, you should not have any more than 5 to 10% of your portfolio invested into cryptocurrency because it's unstable. And they said that the only time that you should go above that number is if you already have your retirement goals set. So, let's say if you already have a huge nest egg set for retirement and you're good and you have extra money to invest, well, then maybe you can afford to play with crypto. But people, even people, John and Griffin, if we're speaking to people just of our generation, millennials, people that are still in what we call the accumulation phase, where they're going out to work and they're going to accumulate more so they can get to a point where they don't have to work. Then it's not safe for people like us to be going over 10% in investing in cryptocurrency. So if that principle is actually sound, because I know, Griffin, you're the expert with stocks and investing, and John, you are the voice of reason and conservatism here of helping us make safe plays.
I don't know about that, but
well, hey, let's all throw in $500 into Ethereum real quick. Griffin and I would be like, yeah, let's do it. And John would be like, well, we need to assess some things and make sure the investment's right. How long would it get our money back,
Yeah, have you guys read the white papers?
Ethereum's going to hit like $4,000. I mean, or at least I think so.
Yeah, so sorry, I divert. But my point with that, Griffin, is so if we're going to follow these principles to minimize risk, what are some, I know Accomplished Incorporated does some, what you call these weekly call outs, where you bring the stocks of the week out to say, hey, these are good, these are bad, these are when you should buy, and these are when you should sell. Can we talk about that for a minute as some alternative solutions to cryptocurrency and, what people should be doing this week in the market when they listen to this episode?
Oh, for sure. For one, I might have to disagree with them a little bit. I know I treat
this too, which is why I kind of prolonged that and brought that up. It's like they say 5%. Now, to be clear, I have far more than 5% of my portfolio in cryptocurrency, and so I actually do not follow that rule, and I don't think you do either, Griffin. But it's why I wanted to bring it up for discussion.
Yeah, I've just found that like let's say the average person just getting into the market maybe only has $500. 5% of that that's not going to make a difference. You're not even going to get through the door just investing into cryptocurrency. And so, my biggest problem is like, so I know, nice long-term trading strategy for the stock market is to put 3 to 5% of your portfolio into each stock or crypto. And so with that being said, I would use 3 to 5% per cryptocurrency that I'm investing in, and that's what I try to do. But I guess another in regards to my options trading, I normally try to get that when my account's large enough, or when my one of my new members' accounts are large enough to where then they can do 3 to 5% per trade until they can really branch out and start getting conservative with their options trading.
What are some of the biggest winners that you're predicting, as well as some of the biggest, well, I guess we don't have to talk about losers because we only focus on winners here. But
I love talking about losers.
This, let's say they have $500. Where
losers are fun to talk about, though.
So
I said losers are fun to talk about.
They are. You're 100% right.
The only reason I like talking about losers is I can short them.
That's good. That's a good reason.
Yeah, and which brings me to back to your what you said earlier, talking about how analysts really shouldn't have any credibility.
No.
I feel like just because I remember
y'all, analysts are right a less percent of the time than weathermen. Think about that. Like, there's always the old joke, you know, people always say, oh, I wish I could be a weatherman, you know, so I could be, you know, wrong 50% of the time and still keep my job. Well, heck, if you like that, go be a financial analyst or an economist where they sit around and write articles all day about what the economy is going to do. Golly.
Yeah. I remember one of the head analysts at Chase Bank said that Bitcoin was going to reach 300 billion by this time.
At Chase Bank, I hope they fired him.
And so sorry, 300,000. I don't know what I was thinking, but I had, you know, I was just looking at that.
Even if he said 100,000, it's not going to hit 100,000 anytime soon. If you look at how much it's grown and how it's essentially worthless. I mean, it's not like a corporation or anything that has solid assets that are backing it. It could fall back down to $100 a share. I mean, there's nothing really controlling that, but wow, 300 grand. That's ambitious.
So what I find pretty cool about cryptocurrency is that it allows people to look at the market cap instead of just the stock price. And so we, you know, when we're looking at Bitcoin being at like around 36 grand right now, we think that's a pretty high number. But then when you look at the market cap, we're at like maybe, you know, a little less than $1 trillion in market cap. That thing's not going to move that much. You know, only the top 5 companies right now, you know, have, you know, a little over $1 trillion each. And so we're going to see that, you know, Bitcoin's not going to really move as much as we'd like to. And that's why Ethereum also as well, you know, at $500 billion is not going to move as much as we'd like to.
Yeah. So is there a cryptocurrency that is going to move the way we like it? Again, you know, for investment tips for this week, you know, can we put forward, let's say, one cryptocurrency and one stock that we can recommend to, hey, watch these this week, and you know, these can be good investments.
For my long-term cryptocurrency, for the past few weeks, I've been heavily into helium.
Helium. Okay.
Yeah, and so you know, back in June, I bought a helium miner. And, you know, it's just this nice little tiny box that you put on your windowsill. And, you know, it just sits there, and it doesn't, you know, produce heat, doesn't, you know, cost, you know, a lot on your electric bill. And I've gotten over 30 coins just since July when it came in. And so that's given me over $800 in passive income since July. And I'm not even in, you know, places like New York and Miami. They're getting thousands of dollars a month just in passive income by holding one of these helium miners.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I bought 2 at the same time. I bought a Bobcat 300 miner, and then a rack. I forgot what the numbers were, but the Bobcats are the most reliable. You'll get them the fastest, and they produce, you know, very nice amounts. The rack miner, it took 8 months just to receive the miner, and it's you know, it's having a lot of issues.
When you say a miner, what do you mean by that?
So it's a you know, it's just a little tiny computer that I guess produces algorithms and helps with the flow of the blockchain.
Okay. Do you have it with you right now?
Yeah, let me
yeah, if you want to grab it real quick.
Dude, can we see that? That would be cool to have a visual. Thank you, Griffin. Good question, John.
It's so sketchy.
And
you know,
so,
especially now that you have to pay taxes on each individual one.
It's right here. It's just this little tiny box. It's got Bobcat on it.
Okay.
And so it's got a, you know, plug-in cord and an antenna right here. I bought, you know, this is just the standard antenna. Depending on, you know, I guess height and range, you'll buy different types of antennas, which I haven't gotten to yet because it's the same cost as a helium miner. So it's I bought my helium miner for $430.
But you said it's made you 800 this year, right?
And so since July, I've made 800. So I've doubled what I've paid.
Half a year.
Mm-hmm.
And all you do is you just plug it in and it makes or mines crypto.
Yeah, so with each blockchain, if you, I guess there's three different things. There's a POC, which just, you know, connects to another helium miner and just says hi. There's a witness, so like when one of these helium miners completes a blockchain and they contribute, and then another one sees that, it's called a witness. And then a challenger is where it, I guess, it talks to another helium miner to complete another blockchain, a block on the chain.
This is so. John, did you know this stuff even existed before? Like, my head is exploding right now.
Yeah, I knew about miners, but I didn't know about that. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like, I mean, there are people that build these big computers, turn them up, but like, that is so neat. So Griffin, I kind of want to wrap up on this real quick. That's a great recommendation I know I asked you initially for like, hey, like, what's a good way to get involved in earning crypto? And I did not expect that answer. If somebody wanted to get one of these, where do they buy one of these boxes?
The easiest way is to go onto that Bobcat Miner website.
Bobcatminer.com or something.
Yeah, I don't know the website on the top of my head, but
we'll put it up on the screen. So guys, if y'all are watching this on YouTube, check out the screen for the Bobcat Miner website. It should be up there right now.
And I'd be very careful. I know myself personally, I've looked up this Bobcat Miner site, and there's so many like them that are fake and trying to scam you. So you just have to, we'll put up the correct website, and so you should follow that. And then if not, you can buy it on eBay and Amazon for a much heftier price, but you'll get them immediately instead of waiting 20 to 28 weeks because they're in such high demand right now.
That might be worth it if it's going to earn the way you says it earns. And now, Griffin, if we were to go on Amazon or eBay and try to locate one of these sets, what are the search terms that somebody would or should key in to find this device?
I would say just a Bobcat helium miner, and then it will be it'll probably say something like Bobcat helium miner, for $2,100 was the last time I checked on Amazon.
What? Jeez, that really is pricey.
Yeah, and so you could probably make more money just selling the helium miners, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Griffin, like, we need to find a tech guy and some kind of tech that knows how to assemble those, and we ought to, as a show, start marketing and selling those devices.
Yeah, right.
Well, we can always dream. Guys, thank y'all for being here with us this week. This has been another quick episode of Weekly Wallet Wagers with Griffin Goodman, the banker, coming with us from Colorado. Check us out. We'll be with you guys later on in the week with another topic or concept. And, of course, you can always check us out online at willsworldchannel.com, Will's World Channel on YouTube. Or check out Griffin Goodman, Jonathan Heiler, or me, myself, Will Marsh, on Facebook and Instagram.
Jonathan
What's that? Did we mess it up 2 weeks in a row, John?
Oh, my goodness.
We're just messing with you at this point.
We're going to call you by a different last name every time we say your name. Next week, it'll be Jonathan Hitler.
That was an actual nickname in elementary school.
Ooh, hits home. Yeah. Hits home.
It's a little hard.
That makes it more fun. Although I'm not sure it's funny. Are we allowed on media to say anything is funny with the word Hitler in it? I don't think so.
I don't know. I feel like we should stay away from that for now.
Yeah, that's probably a good suggestion, Griffin. It's like, if you don't really know, then that's probably a solid answer right there.
Yeah.
They might just want to
This has been Weekly Wallet Wagers. We will catch you guys next week. Stay with us.